Breaking, last-minute information coming in from south border of Tapachula, Chiapas. Another caravan just left the south
among New York City's migrant community about what President-elect Trump's immigration policies could mean for them. Migrants, along with immigration advocates, gathered tonight at Foley Square where they expressed fear over Trump's campaign promise of mass deportations.
So after winning a landslide presidential election, when Donald Trump assumes the Oval Office, he'll be doing it with a mandate from voters to follow through on his promises. And with one of those being a mass deportation operation that begins on day one, many undocumented individuals living in sanctuary cities like New York face an uncertain future, one that could suddenly end with them being removed from this country permanently.
We will begin the largest domestic deportation operation in American history. Starting at noon on Inauguration Day,
hundreds of immigrant advocates packed into Foley Square to rally with signs and chants.
We will not stand by as Trump's deportation agenda threatening our community.
The president-elect has yet to lay out a specific deportation plan, meaning this could apply to the nearly 200,000 migrants who've come to New York during the last 2 years claiming asylum, or it could apply to undocumented people who've been here for decades, including dreamers.
A dangerous South American street gang, Are Aragua, has rapidly gained a foothold in New York City, exploiting the migrant crisis to build a violent criminal empire. Originally from Venezuela, the gang has infiltrated city shelters, running illegal operations right under the nose of authorities.
New York is a sanctuary city where undocumented immigrants are largely shielded from immigration agents. Those convicted of serious crimes do face deportation, but police commanders believe they're a tiny percentage of the thousands who poured into the city since 2022. Trump says he wants to deport millions.
So President Trump does not seem to be backing down from his campaign promise to deport those who do not have a legal right to live in America. But what nobody's talking about is that Americans are about to witness a political civil war of sorts where red states cooperate with Trump's new plans and progressive states with sanctuary cities like this one do the exact opposite. And although New York City's mayor, Eric Adams, has promised to work with President Trump, he's bound by law to operate this city as a sanctuary whether he likes it or not. Plus, city leadership is full of progressives who are still in shock that Trump beat Vice President Harris to begin with and have vowed to fight him at every turn. And that means doubling down on sanctuary policies designed to frustrate federal immigration efforts. And while this is being done in the name of compassion and care for immigrants of all backgrounds, critics say asylum seekers have a legal right to remain in the country and that they have nothing to fear from a deportation plan that targets those who do not have such a right. Like the gang members who've been caught taking over apartments in Colorado and Texas and committing robberies in New York while living in some of the city's homeless shelters. And that brings us to the real reason why this battle over deportations is heating up before they've even started. Right now, you've got around 500,000 undocumented individuals living in this city, many of whom aren't gang members and have been living here for years, building new lives for themselves. And there's this feeling among many New Yorkers that after enough time passes, it's unfair for undocumented individuals to be removed from the country, which is why advocates say they should instead be given amnesty and permission to stay here forever. But at the same time, critics say that something has got to be done about the gang members and dangerous individuals benefiting from our sanctuary city policies in a way that endangers law-abiding immigrants and asylum seekers, especially when it comes to the growth of Aragua, a Venezuelan gang that specializes in exploiting some of the very people that fled to America to escape them. And as you're about to see, allowing gangs like that to operate openly in New York just because it's a sanctuary, that's not making this place any safer for immigrants. In fact, it's putting them in danger.
Breaking, last-minute information coming in from south border of Tapachula, Chiapas. Another caravan just left the south border. The quantity is around 1,500 migrants that they left the south border of Tapachula, Chiapas in direction to the United States of America, as migrants know that in the 20th of January of 2025, Donald Trump will become the next president of the United States of America. They are trying to make a run for it before Joe Biden leaves the administration of presidency. As migrants continue to walk on the south border in Mexico, as they know that entering the new administration, the possibilities for them to continue and to stay in the United States of America are slim, and that the mass deportation will start as soon as the next administration comes into office. This is the collateral damage of the Biden-Harris Mayorkas administration and the bad policies that they had implemented under 4 years of this total catastrophe and chaos in a crisis that has continued and continued and continued until this point. The Trump effect. It is immediately acting as migrants know that entering the year 2025, it is not going to continue anymore. I'm Oscar Blue for Real America's Voice News. Stay safe.
Grand Rising, everybody. This is Dice Game G coming back here on the Vicious News. Illegal migrants are scrambling to avoid Trump deportation, and I'm saying they knew this was coming. By 2025, they know they got to turn right back around, because the fact is, Trump is not playing. He's going into his campaign promise that these illegal migrants going to go on. First thing first, they saying the radical, the ones that came over here out of prisons and into our country. I mean, the real bad, migrants that came in from prisons or in militaries. They're gonna get, or Venezuelan gang. They're gonna get deported first. That's what it's mostly has been saying. And then later on, who's over here illegal, after they get done with that, they're gonna really try to deportate them. The ones that don't have any credentials here, don't have no asylums here, that's what is going on. And I've been putting myself that this is going to be confusing for a while. People get ready for confrontation. Now, I know a lot of people saying it's not fair, because the fact is a lot of people that came in through the borders, some people got families, they done talked about that. What happened if, a child's been born in America, and then you got parents, they're illegal migrants, they came in with asylum. What would they do? And like I said, Tom Hopeman already said, if they can't figure it out, all of them go back. I'm just saying, this was created by the Democratic Party, you know what I mean? And I know it's not fair. See, I'm a fair guy, you know what I mean? I kind of see the people that's already over here, at least trying to help to see if they can get asylum or get over here. You see, good working, hard working families that came over here on the border, give them a chance. That's what I want to say. But everybody else is not trying to go by our rules and regulations in America. It's just what it is. You got to go back home, cross of that border. And that's what I'm saying. The Trump administration is going to have some quiet time about this, because they ain't going to be able to get everybody. But first thing, they just need to work on getting all the radical illegal migrants out of here. Because like I said, they've been doing a lot of stuff, been raping our kids, our women and stuff, and been causing all this chaos in our country right now. So, what do y'all think? Leave the comments in the bottom of in the comment box. All the links is gonna be in the description. Make sure you like and share, and I'm telling you, share this everywhere, and subscribe if you're not subscribed. I love you. I'm Dice Game G here on the Vicious News, and I'm out.
Stepping up is Butler County, Ohio Sheriff Richard Jones. He joins us now. Sheriff, good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, sir.
When we look at this policy, it's called 287G. It's a federal policy that could be expanded, apparently. Explain to us what you would be able to do under this that you're not able to do now.
We could actually go to the workplace and enforce immigration laws. We had it once before, but this president took it all away from all the sheriffs across the country. We house prisoners here. There's two 287Gs, one to hold prisoners, one to go out and enforce immigration laws. We were trained, we had the certification, and President Biden's administration took it all away from us. We're going to get that back. We've been in contact with ICE. So it gives us the authority to go out into the community, to go to the workplace, enforce these laws and help the federal government do their job. And we're happy. We're getting geared up. We're making jail space available. And one thing I know about illegal immigration, I've been doing this 20 years, is when you start going out and enforcing and apprehending people that are here illegally and enforcing the laws where people work in these factories illegally, we've got citizens. I had a lady that came to me and was given information where these places are all over the United States. Sheriffs, there's 3,300 sheriffs in the United States. Each county, it's easier to deal with one local law enforcement in each county as it is thousands and thousands of police departments.
Yeah, you talk about all over the country, sheriffs are stepping up. You're in Ohio. That's not a border town. That's not down on the southwest border. Tell us about how this problem is affecting you there in Butler County.
Basically, I have had 2,000 illegals in my jail in the past 3 years. And I had another lady come up to me. Her husband was killed. She had kids and was killed by an illegal driving a car, overstayed his visa. We're borders with Canada, the northern border, and Ohio. And that has picked up tenfold with the drugs. The president of Canada lets these people come in, lets the drugs come in, lets the kids come in. It's a travesty. They're coming in, they're pouring in. But what we're going to do when we had 287G before, we're going to actually enforce workplace enforcement, hopefully. And listen, I had the federal government come in and go to federal court and testify against me for trying to enforce workplace enforcement with the illegals working there.
Sheriff Richard Jones, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for all the work you're doing to keep your community safe, and I look forward to...
Massachusetts Governor Maura Healey has just announced that she plans on phasing out these centralized locations for housing migrants such as hotels, and is instead proposing a $2,100 a month budget for housing migrants in apartments scattered across the state. Now, of course, this comes off the heels of Donald Trump winning the presidency with big plans of mass deportations across the country. Now, Governor Maura Healey and Boston Mayor Michelle Wu have both been extremely vocal against this and actually said they'll do whatever they can to not cooperate with these actions. Now, the timing of all this has caused some people to believe that this is Governor Maura Healey's attempt to make it more difficult for Donald Trump to deport migrants in the state of Massachusetts. This crisis has caused Massachusetts to be in a state of emergency for over a year, and there's seemingly no end in sight.
Do you know what you would do if ICE officers come to your place of employment? First, if you're the employer, you say, I am the employer. You cannot go to any area without my permission. This is a private workplace. If ICE continues to try to enter into your workplace, you say this, do you have a judicial warrant? Because if not, you are violating my rights. Encourage your staff, if they don't have a judicial warrant, to take videos of them violating your rights. If ICE tries to ask your employees questions, they don't have to answer. They can keep quiet. After ICE leaves, write down everything that happens. Your memory is short. Your employees should not panic. If they feel threatened, they can try to calmly leave without running away. And as long as nobody stops them, let them walk out the door. If they're stopped, they have the right to remain silent as well. If they are asked to stand in a group by immigration status, they should just stand randomly. They don't have to show any identification documentation. And all they should say is, I want to speak to my lawyer.
Colorado is a marijuana mecca, and if you listen to Denver Mayor Mike Johnston, he sounds high on his own supply. Mike Johnston loves illegal aliens more than your dog would love a filet mignon. On Tuesday in Denver, an illegal from Venezuela was charged with raping his boss's 14-year-old daughter in the basement of her home. So how did Jesus Alberto Peria Castillo get access to his boss's basement? He was living there. Remember this the next time some gas bag tells you how vital illegal aliens are to the economy. Over 40,000 illegals have invaded Denver since 2022. Mike Johnston and Jared Polis love it. Schools are overwhelmed, taxpayers are busted, Tren de Aragua is thriving, and to keep the good times rolling, Mayor Mike wants you to know that the citizens of Denver, along with the Denver Police Department, would be stationed at the city gates to block the Trump deportations. Denver is a proud sanctuary city. Mayor Mike wants America to know that, quote, we're not going to sell out those values to anyone. We're not going to be bullied into changing them. Mike Johnston is one of these politicians that likes to pretend that he's some nouveau civil rights activist. Mayor Mike said that citizens blocking the Trump deportations would be a, quote, Tiananmen Square moment. I'm sure Tim Walz agrees. These are delusional days in Denver with a mayor that sounds like he's a mile high.
So Governor Healy of Massachusetts has welcomed tens of thousands of illegals into her state and has quote-unquote said that she is going to do everything in her power to fight back against Trump's deportation plan. Yet 3 illegals have just been arrested in the state of Massachusetts for being children. 39 children. Why is this not on the front page of every news? 39 crimes against children because of the people we've let into our country illegally. Disgusting.